Before we have our readings today coming from selected verses from Ruth chapter 3 and 4, I just want to give a little bit of a recap. If you remember, Naomi and her husband Elimelech and their two sons moved from Bethlehem to Moab because there's a famine in the land of Judah. And whilst they're there, Elimelech dies. But 10 years later, their sons marry two Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. But then sadly, the sons die too, leaving Naomi and her daughters-in-law widows. Naomi returns to Bethlehem with Ruth, who refuses to leave. I remember that speech that Ruth gives, where you go, I will go, your people will be my people, your God will be my God, where you die, I will die. And once back in Bethlehem, Ruth begins to gather grain so that they can eat. And the field that she goes in, the fields that she goes into belong to a man named Boaz, who Naomi identifies as a potential kinsman redeemer. He's the brother of Elimelech. And he notices Ruth. He acknowledges her loyalty and kindness to Naomi, and so he shows her kindness in return by allowing her to continue gathering grain throughout the whole of the harvest. And now we pick up the story in chapter 3. Then Naomi, Ruth's mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, I must find a suitable home for you. That would be good for you. Now Boaz is our close relative. He worked with his women servants. Tonight he'll be working on the threshing floor. Go wash yourself, put on perfume, change your clothes, and go down to the threshing floor. But don't let him see you until he's finished eating and drinking. When he's done that, he'll lie down. Watch him so you'll know the place where he lies. Go there, lift the cover off his feet, and lie down. He will tell you what you should do." After eating and drinking, Boaz was feeling good. He went to lie down beside the pile of grain, and Ruth went to him quietly. She lifted the cover from his feet and lay down. And about midnight, Boaz woke up and suddenly rolled over. He was startled. There was a woman lying at his feet. Boaz asked, "Who are you?" She said, "I am Ruth, your servant girl. Spread your cover over me, because you are the one who is to take care of me." Then Boaz said, "The Lord bless you, my daughter. Your kindness to me is greater than the kindness you showed to Naomi in the beginning. You didn't look for a young man to marry, either rich or poor. Now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do everything you ask. All the people in our town know you are a good woman. And it is true, I am a relative who is to take care of you. But there is a man who is a closer relative to you than I. But stay here tonight. In the morning we will see if he will take care of you. If he decides to take care of you, that's fine. If he refuses to take care of you, I myself will marry you. Then I will buy back Elimelech's land for you. As surely as the Lord lives, I promise to do this. So lie here until morning." And Ruth chapter 4. Boaz went to the city gate. He sat there until the close relative he'd mentioned passed by. Boaz called to him, "Come here, friend, sit down." So the man came over and sat down. Boaz gathered 10 of the old men who were the leaders of the city. He told them, "Sit down here." So they sat down. Then Boaz spoke to the close relative. He said, "Naomi has come back from the country of Moab. She wants to sell the piece of land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. So I decided to say this to you. If you want to buy back the land, then buy it. Buy it in front of the people who live here and in front of the elders of my people. If you don't want to buy it, tell me, and I will buy it instead. And so the close relative said, I will buy back the land. Then Boaz says, when you buy the land from my Naomi, you must marry Ruth, the dead man's wife. She is a woman from Moab. That way the land will stay in her dead husband's family. The man refused once he heard he had to marry Ruth. So Boaz married her instead. The Lord allowed her to become pregnant, and she gave birth to a son. The women told Naomi, praise the Lord who gave you this grandson and may become famous in Israel. He will give you new life. He will take care of you in your old age. This happened because of your daughter-in-law. She loves you. She is better to you than 7 sons. She has given birth to your grandson. Naomi took the boy in her arms and she cared for him. The neighbours gave the boy his name. These women said, this boy was born for Naomi. The neighbours named him Obed. Obed was Jesse's father, and Jesse was the father of David. This is the family history of Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron, Hezron the father of Ram, Ram the father of Amminadab, Amminadab was the father of Nahshon, Nahshon was the father of Salmon, Salmon the father of Boaz, Boaz the father of Obed, Obed the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of David. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.